If Luffy hadn't stopped Brook back during the celebration on Thriller Bark from telling us about his past, we probably wouldn't have countless question marks in our heads right now about who Brook really is and what he did before. Before any misunderstandings arise, many people don't fully understand how Brook's devil fruit works. He actually has the revive fruit, which allows his soul to return to his body after death, granting him a second life basically, a resurrection. Brook is currently 90 years old and died 52 years ago, meaning he was 38 when he passed away. Why I mention this is simple. Oda loves playing with numbers and hiding hints about future events in them, and the number 38 has become more important than ever in One Piece. Exactly 38 years ago, the God Valley incident took place, the event that changed the world of One Piece forever. And as if that weren't enough, Brook is originally from the West Blue, and God Valley is also located in the West Blue. Now things get really crazy. In One Piece chapter 1160, we get a close-up of the Rocks Pirates' main ship, captained by Zebek, and something unbelievable stands out. Most pirate ships have a figurehead, for example. The Straw Hats had the Going Merry, shaped like a lamb, and later the Thousand Sunny, which looks like a lion. But what we see on the Rocks Pirates ship is shocking: a skeleton bound to the front of the ship, used as a figurehead. And if you look closely, it's not just any skeleton, it looks very familiar. It's wearing the same clothes Brook wore when we first saw him in the Florian Triangle. But that's not all. If we look carefully, the skull of that skeleton is cracked in the exact same place as Brook's skull. The only difference is that the figurehead doesn't have Brook's afro. However, upon closer inspection, we can actually see hair growing from the skull, which could mean that if this really is Brook, the Rocks Pirates shaved his afro as an act of humiliation, since we know how important his hair is to him. When the Straw Hats were in Shoki's bar on the Sabaudi archipelago, Brook mentioned that he had heard of a rookie named Galdi Roger back when he was alive as a pirate. But if we consider that Zebek killed a Marine Admiral 56 years ago before forming his own crew, and that Brook died 52 years ago, it makes little sense for Brook to have heard about Roger, who at that time had probably just started sailing with Rayleigh. According to Brook's own story, after his death, he spent about a year searching for his body, but after finding it, he supposedly remained in the Florian Triangle the whole time, which sounds very unrealistic, since when Moria arrived there with Thriller Bark only 7 years ago, Brook immediately found the ship. In One Piece, there are no coincidences. When the Straw Hats entered the Florian Triangle 2 years ago, Brook also found them instantly, which suggests he hadn't just been chilling there all that time, but was probably doing things we don't yet know about, things that could shock us later. One of those things could be that he served as the figurehead of the Rocks Pirates ship. We can be quite certain that the Rocks Pirates were indeed in the Florian Triangle. Perhaps they were even the ones who destroyed the Rumbar Pirates. That would also explain how Brook knew about Galdi Roger, because he was actually present during the God Valley incident. After the Rocks Pirates disbanded following that event, we run into another problem, another time gap involving Brook that needs to be filled in order for it to make sense. That he later ended up back in the Florian Triangle when the Straw Hats and Moria appeared there. We also have some interesting information from Brook himself. He once said that before joining the Rumbar Pirates, he was the leader of a royal guard in a kingdom. In the Elbaf arc, we learned that he even knew Gunko, one of the Holy Knights, meaning he had contact with the Celestial Dragons and the world government. We saw that 56 years ago, Gunko stood beside Imusama during the time when Zebak killed the Admiral and made it into the Room of Flowers. Since Brook only sailed with the Rumbar Pirates for 3 years, that means 3 years earlier, he was still leading the Royal Guard. It can't be a coincidence that we still haven't been shown who led the Holy Knights before Garling. So if Brook was once that leader, it would make perfect sense that he knew Gunko, since she's confirmed to be a celestial dragon and not from any other kingdom. That would be the only possible place where the two could have met. As leader of the Holy Knights, Brook might have even served as a trainer, instructing future generations of Holy Knights. Brook's current condition definitely leaves a lot of room for speculation. After all, he has no skin left, so if he once had the Holy Knight's tattoo, it wouldn't be visible now because he's just a skeleton, and it would be absolutely insane if he could someday regenerate his body regaining his skin. The scar on his skull would, of course, remain since even the Gorosei have scars from the past that didn't disappear. Despite their regeneration abilities, it would also make sense why Brook returned to the Florian Triangle, because there's a massive creature there the world must never know about. And before Moria did the world, government's dirty work killing or stealing the shadows of anyone who entered the triangle. It could have been Brook who eliminated those intruders himself. This would also explain why the world government never brought back to Mary Geoise, where the Holy Knights reside, because he's a skeleton, and the celestial dragons would probably be terrified of him. And people often forget, Brook's head scar existed even before he joined the Rumbar Pirates, meaning we could be dealing with memory loss. Several One Piece characters have lost their memories for far less Big Mom, and most famously, Sabo, which means Brook might not remember everything about his past. His memories could gradually return as the story progresses, eventually revealing Brook's true self and his real purpose. Now, it's your turn. Share your thoughts about Brook in the comments. You know it yourselves. Something's not right with him. Anyone saying, nah, Brook's fine, you're overreacting. No, we're not overreacting, brother. These things can't all be coincidences, right? It's clearly leading somewhere. So be honest with yourselves and speculate a little about what might really be behind Brook's mysterious past. Personally, I think I'm definitely on the right track. That's all from me. See you next time on my channel.